Hi Aquarius, welcome to your Uranus in Taurus special with me, Raphael Ray from Reydiant Reality. Thank you so much for being here and thank you so much for joining me. So my fellow Aquarians, this is a big one for us, just like Taurus. So especially those of you that are a sun, or especially those of you that are an ascendant Aquarius. I'm an Aquarian, so I should, whatever. This is a big one for us because Uranus is our modern ruler. It's the modern ruler of Aquarius, and it represents the freedom aspect of us, the liberation aspect of us. It represents the revolutionary, the rebellious, the higher octave of thought. It represents technology, all of the quirky and zany and sort of out there aspects of Aquarius. This is where we get it from, this modern ruler. It also portrays an aspect of us that is carefree and one that doesn't necessarily think about conforming. It doesn't think about it's the rebel for a reason. Aquarius is known as the rebel for a reason. This glyph actually represents a satellite. So therefore the TV, the radio, the internet, Aquarius is the sign of astrology as well. It's the star card in tarot. It's got all of those that's the Aquarius stuff, but also Uranus in the tarot is actually the tower, and that represents change. It represents revolution and rebellion. And I always say, especially for us, if we rebel against something, it's about our refusal or non-acceptance or conformation to the external programming and conditioning that has been forced or pushed on us. This is, that's what rebellion is. It's saying, no, that paradigm, that way, shape or form of doing things doesn't fit with me or who I am at a core level. It doesn't resonate with all that I stand for. And Uranus is revolution, but it's also change. And it's not like Pluto that, I've said this, Pluto's like, like the old man or old woman that will come in and fix everything, like absolutely everything. And it will do it over, over a generation, over like 30 plus years. It takes its time. Uranus comes in, smash, kicks the door off, bam, hi bitches, I'm here. And it goes straight in, and it doesn't make any excuses or odds or ends. It goes in and it says, these are the changes that we're making. This is where we're going to make them. This is how we're going to make them. Deal with it. Now we're all in the same boat and we all need to get this done. We need to adapt, and we need to adapt fast. It's that kind of energy. And the other thing about Uranus as well, it takes 7 years to move through a sign. And so therefore it takes 84 years to move through the entire zodiac. And so therefore it's been likened to a life cycle of a human being, which is really incredible. It means that the changes that take place over the 7 years in that one aspect of life, they change you at a fundamentally core level that you take with you throughout the rest of your life. So this is Uranus, and Uranus moving into Taurus. Taurus in the zodiacal wheel is actually the 7th house. It's money, finance, it's the money that you make, it's the money that you earn, it's your self-worth, your self-value, it's the earth, it's the environment. Taurus is, it's fixed earth. It's the environment, it's the animals, it's the trees, it's all of those things. It's what you eat, it's how you value what you eat and what you take in, what you ingest. It's the world at large, and Uranus being technology as well. I really believe that we're going to see big advancements in the eco-friendly movement. We're going to see massive advancements in technology that makes the world a better place, that makes the world a more accessible place in a cleaner way that is kinder to the environment. And I said this to one other sign before, you're Aquarius, so you are my fellow brothers and sisters, just like all others, but I got a soft spot for you because I am one of you. If you want to make big money over the next 10 years, if you want to know where to invest your money, take speculative gambles and risks, calculated gambles and risks, by investing in the technologies that make the world a better place, a cleaner place, or get more from enhancing the environment. So the startup companies that are using the recycled plastic to build homes, invest in that, because it's going to be massive going forward. You know, the people that are creating biodegradable plastic, invest in them, because they're going to become, you know, all of those things, anything of that ilk. Technology that cleans up the environment, technology that enables us to get more out of our food, you know, ideas that help us get rid of GMO, that help us get rid of pesticides and all of that stuff. Invest in that stuff, because that's what's going to make you money over the next 10 years. All of this stuff about, you know, nice, pretty, shiny, expensive things, it's not going to last much longer. That bubble is about to burst. You know, and swiftly, when you think about the transit that's going to take place. We want something of value now. You know, the higher octave of thought in Uranus is asking us to think outside the box, to think outside the bubble that we know, to think outside the current structure that we know, to think outside the current environment that we know. You know, it's not going to be about plastic shiny celebrities anymore, and it never really has been for Aquarians, but you know what I mean. It's going to be about what has value in my life. What, you know, if I invest in this thing, how is it going to enhance my life? How is it going to enhance the world? You know, this is a really important and really exciting transit, and I think we're going to see a lot of big shifts and changes that happen with it. So, as Aquarians, or an Aquarius ascendant, this will be taking, you know, Uranus is moving into your 4th house. And your 4th house is all to do with your home and your family at a superficial level. But it's, it's all to do with your ancestry, your ancestors. It's all to do with who you are at a really sort of a soul level. Because the 4th house, if you were to turn this round, is actually down here. It represents your foundation. It's about the things that went into creating the being that you are. And I always say this, like, when you think about your family, so I'm one person and I represent you, the person that's watching this video. I have a mother and a father, and each one of those has a mother and father. And if you go back and back and back and back through history, you would start to see so many people. And I've always said this, and I've always believed it. Every single one of us, every single human being is the pinnacle of their lineage at this moment in time. You are the peak experience of all of the wealth of knowledge and power and understanding, universal wisdom, earthly wisdom, higher thought, higher consciousness. You are the pinnacle of all of your lineage. You are the pinnacle of all of your heritage. Every single DNA strand that has come before you has culminated in this perfect human being that is watching this video right now. I'm talking to you, my fellow Aquarian. You know, you were born as an Aquarius for a reason. Aquarius is here to protect the earth. Aquarius is here to protect the people on the planet. Aquarius is here to be the water bearer, to carry the emotions of the world so that people might be kinder to each other, to carry the emotions of the world so that people can interact better, so that they think about the whole as opposed to just themselves. And this is why I say more technologies that create a better future for all of us, that create a greener and better environment for all of us. This is going to be about looking after and sustaining what we have, because ultimately, aside from the fact that, you know, we're all human beings, the one thing that we all have in common is this, the earth, Gaia. You know, regardless of where you come from, what your race, creed, colour, sexuality, orientation, title, the one thing that we all have in common is that we live on this earth, and this earth needs to be sustained in order to sustain us. So if you want to make money, if you want to make the world a better place, invest in the technologies that are going to do that for us. You know, we're Aquarians, that's what we're here for. One of the signs that's most prone to genius. One of the signs that is forward thinking, that usually so far ahead of its time that people are like, oh, that person's a bit strange. 10 years later, everyone's like, oh, get on the bandwagon of this. And Aquarius has already gone to the next thing. That's how we work. And we're happy to live outside the fringe because we know that it's people like us that are going to love and care for the world enough to show them what they need to know tomorrow, today. Anyway, I'm going to go into, so your fourth house is about to get a shake. These are my trusty notes that I've written. Your fourth house is about to get a shake up, and if you are open to it, it can be one of the most liberating, because this is about your roots, your familial roots and your personal living roots. Needless to say, your interactions with your family are about to be examined and revolutionized. Your understandings and beliefs about your family and how they view you and are about to be brought into question, and may see you rebelling against the general consensus. It may also see you working hard to let go of others in your family's beliefs about you and interactions with them. So what do I mean by that? This is going to be about you being your authentic self. Now, it will be a two-edged sword, as everything is. On the one hand, you will be teaching people, sorry, I got a pain in my side. You will be teaching people and demonstrating who you truly are. You will be teaching people and demonstrating from an experiential point of view and from a practical everyday view. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. And you, as my family, you're in me. I share blood with you. I share history. I share heritage with you. Yes, I'm my own person, but we have a kinship, and you need to recognize and respect that within me, just like I do you. This is going to see you looking at all of your family ties. What is a family tie? Who are your family? Who's your immediate family? Who's the family that you've chosen? Those are big things to ask. In terms of, on a practical day-to-day basis, this could see you changing home several times over the course of the next 7 years. This transit hadn't even started, and a week ago I was told by my landlord that they're selling the property and I now need to move out. A week ago, so this transit hadn't even started and I already started to feel it. And if I'm honest and I trust my intuition, I know that this is just going to be the first of a series of probably about 5 or 6 moves in the next 7 years. And it might be startling to you and to other people where you finally end up settling. This transit, this 7-year transit, Uranus, the higher octave, the spontaneous, the different, the zany, might see you thinking outside the box in terms of where you live in your environment and deciding or settling on somewhere that makes people go, whoa, okay, what made you, I never could have thought or imagined you to live there, but it's where you decide, actually, that's where my heart lies and I feel like I'm going to be happy there. You may also come to understand why certain people are the way that they are, what has gone into making them who they are, and in turn this will give you even more power to understand yourself, because you will finally understand truly where you come from. So this transit is going to give you the chance to really look at the people that surround you, that call themselves family, and it will give you a chance to truly see them at their core level, to truly see what it is that makes you family, what it is about your bond that you chose on this lifetime, in this lifetime. It took me a long time to get my head around this concept, because I was like, why would I choose the life that I've had? It's been so difficult, it's been this, da, 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 da. And then, now I think about it, actually, I come to realise that in all of my family, as strong a people they are, none of them could have lived the life that I chose. And vice versa. When I look at some of what their lives are, I think, oh, actually, no, that wouldn't have suited me at all. I'm glad I had the experience that I did have. And in truly understanding them and where they come from, you start to truly understand yourself. And when you can truly understand yourself, you can accept almost anything. And you can love unconditionally, really unconditionally. Then there is your personal roots, your personal place of dwelling, your home. This transit can see you most likely moving several times within the next 7 years. Some places you find yourself dwelling will be exciting and maybe even odd. If you can be open and embracing, going where the proverbial wind takes you, you can really find yourself living in some very interesting places and finding ways of blending the new and the old. And that is Aquarius. Aquarius is the bridge between logic and intuition. We are ruled by Saturn and Uranus. You know, Saturn is the traditional and the old values and the structure. You know, Uranus is the zany, quirky sort of like, comes in and is completely mad as a bag of frogs. But you gotta love them because they excite things and they change things. They offer different perspectives and different views. And if you can balance the old with the new, you might find that the place that you settle in, the home that you have, like for me, perfect example. I like a really modern house, but on the inside, I want that old witch's kitchen. I want that old, like comfy, cozy sofa and the bathtub with the rolling sides. And do you see what I mean? It's about the mix of the old and new. I love the gadgets. I want the TV. I want the internet. I want the, the tap that will give you hot and cold water in one. It's a bit frivolous, I know. I want all of that, but I want it in a setting that feels traditional. I want the cobbled stones in the kitchen, and I want to be able to put my cauldron on the thing and brew up my, my herbal remedies and make my candles and stuff and hang my herbs up and, have like a little orangery on the side where, I can grow my own herbs and create my own tinctures and lotions and potions and stuff. That's me. That's where I find that mix of the old and the new, and I mash them together. I love all things modern and quirky and zany, but there's that part of me that seeks comfort, especially in my home, from the things that I have in it. If you look up there, actually, I've got my little potbelly cauldron. I've had that thing for nigh on 20 years now. So, really, really lovely. As an example, this is especially true for you because your modern ruler, Saturn is currently in our 12th house as Aquarians, is forcing you to really find out what traditions and past baggage and treasure you wish to carry forward with you or let go of. And your modern ruler here, trining it by moving into Taurus. So this is going to be a trine aspect. So this is the Taurus and this is Capricorn, which is your 12th house. So this is going to be trining the Uranus. So Saturn and Uranus are going to be trining, which modern trining Taurus is offering a completely new and groundbreaking understanding of what your home represents for you and what is new and what is modern. In short, it's about the traditions you now create for your future descendants. And that's one of the things, one of the projects that I'm working on is a grimoire, one that I can leave behind that has all of my knowledge in it, all of the stuff that I've learned about tarot, that's got all of the, I don't mean not everything, I couldn't fit everything, a lot of it's experiential, but some things like that. There's things that I've made with my own hands that I will leave to my future descendants, whether they're nieces and nephews, whether they're children of my own. But it's about leaving a legacy behind. And traditions are carried on through the family, but somebody had to have created them. And this is at the moment you deciding what those traditions are that you now want to start and create so that you can start passing them on to your future descendants. And who knows, when you're no longer here in this physical body, you could be up there floating around seeing your future descendants and saying, wow, I remember starting that, and look, my lineage is carrying it on. And then maybe even you incarnate, 150 to 200 years from now again, and you have this startling memory of, oh, I remember doing this, that deja vu moment, and you have the deja vu because it was actually you that created the vision. I'm getting way, way out there now, I know, but again, Uranus in Taurus, I'm an Aquarius. It's just to give you some ideas and some concepts to play around with. And then finally, marrying these two aspects will see you being surprised at where you choose to finally settle and what you need in order to live a full and happy, abundant life. The challenge here is going to be riding out the feelings of wanting to be settled, of needing a more stable base. And after all, even though you are an air sign Aquarius, you are an air sign. You know, there it is. This is going to be a long, really interesting transit. It's going to be 7 years. It's not just going to happen tomorrow and then that's it. You know, dip back into this video, come back to it. You know, see if it's taking you in the way that was predicted. See if it, takes you in the direction that you expected. Okay, so I would like to bless these cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. The first year of this transit sees you experiencing justice. So justice, although it's about contracts and all things legal, it's about choice. You know, it sees you making a decision. The Justice card often shows up when you're about to sign some sort of document. This could be as well, within the first year of this transit, this could see you, two things I kind of feel from this. One, this could see you receiving some sort of inheritance from a family member that you probably didn't know, because Uranus, you know, unexpected, spontaneous. You know, see you getting some kind of inheritance that you didn't know about or didn't expect to get. And two, it could see you making a decision to make something more official in your life. So this could be you getting a mortgage, or it could even be you deciding to get married. It could be one of those two things. Interesting, really interesting. The second year of this transit sees the Hanged Man. So if any of you know me by now, and I tell you when I see this card, it's the card of enlightenment. It's the card of the steps that you take to become enlightened. And the second year of this transit is going to see you accepting, understanding, and from the understanding comes the wisdom, and from the wisdom you become enlightened. And that's the 4-step process if you want to get to enlightenment. I don't know where I came up with that, but that's how I see it. And when I saw this card one day, it just kind of hit me in a startling sort of stained glass window of magic, and I just thought, bloody hell, you know, that's it. When you look at the Hanged Man there, although he's hanging upside down from one leg, there's no emotion. He's just happy, and the halo that's around his head means that he's become enlightened, because he's accepted his responsibility, and he's also accepted the position that he's in. And when you can truly do that, when you can truly accept it is what it is, that's when you start your process of becoming enlightened. When you accept it, you understand it. Once you've understood it, you gain the wisdom. Once you've gained the wisdom, you then become enlightened. Okay, so far as well, Libra and Pisces. So Libra will feature for you quite heavily in the first year. Pisces, the Hanged Man, will feature for you heavily in the second year. The third year of this transit, the Ten of Cups, absolutely stunning. Look at that. The Ten of Cups will see you really having found a beautiful place that you are happy in. This sees you, you know, the wish that you've had. Once you've made the acceptance in the Hanged Man, once you've really said, okay, you know what, this is the situation that I'm in and I just need to accept it, I'm not going to fight it anymore. The Ten of Cups comes along. Emotional fulfillment, happiness, abundance, clarity, and the best part about it is there's so much of it that you can share it with the people that you love and care for most. I mean, stunning. Couldn't ask for more than that. The fourth year of this transit tends to be the challenge year, as I've seen for many of the other signs. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, now this is interesting because this represents affluent people. It represents people with nothing to prove. It represents you moving forward. It represents you having one foot in the past and one foot in the future, just like an Aquarius does, because we're ruled by these two, you know, opposing forces. But more importantly, when I see the Two of Wands, I usually say to people, you're going to have to make the choice. You're going to have to make the choice to step forward. You know, you're going to have to make the choice to step out of your past and into your future. You know, he's got the world in one hand and his hand on the wand and he's facing outwards, but he's got a wand behind him as well, and he's got the 1 foot behind. And it's like, you know I need to step forward now, but there is a draw to the past. The thing that I kind of feel from this is the place that you find yourself living in the third year of this transit will have given you so much peace and happiness and enjoyment that you will want to stay there. But the fourth year sees you on the move again. You know, definitely on the move again. but it takes you on to riches and wealth and people of affluence. The 5th year of this transit sees you moving again. This is about transport though, because the Knight of Pentacles is a mode of transport. It's a car, it's you know, a car, a motorbike, a 4x4, a horse and cart, a horse itself, but it's also the journeys that you take. You will be commuting quite a lot, whether for work or whether for pleasure, I can't tell you at this point in time, and obviously this is a general reading. But the 5th year will see you traveling a lot. It will see you commuting a lot. So again, you will be on the move. You know, so it looks like at the end of the 3rd year and the beginning of the 4th, you'll be moving. Midway through the 4th year, you'll be moving again. And then the 5th year, you'll be moving again, because you'll be choosing not to commute so much. You know, but there will definitely be lots of car journeys, lots of places going, lots of you going to meetings and being around people, you know. The 6th year, the Devil. So this is interesting, because what it suggests to me is that you will get addicted to being on the road. You will get addicted to the nomadic lifestyle that you gain. And it's interesting because the challenge is, even though you're an air sign and you know you want some kind of stability and you find moments of it throughout the 7-year transit, there will come a point where you know you get so used to just constantly being on the move and constantly being a nomad that you kind of just let it run away with itself. And you don't stop to think, actually, I need a base now. I need a bit more stability. I want to put down some roots of my own. So, you know, that's one of the things that I would say to watch out for. But I can definitely say that you have some gorgeous wheels. You know, something that's truly, you know, a gorgeous car that makes people like, oh, it's interesting because, you know, as Aquarians, we're not necessarily materialistic. But this sees you having something that's certainly an interesting one. And then finally, the 7th and final year of this transit. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Sees the 9 of Cups. This is personal and emotional fulfillment and content, happiness and abundance, and above all, healing. In the 7th year of this transit, you finally find the place that you will reside in, and probably reside in this place for the rest of your life. Aquarius, what an exciting and, you know, interesting as well, because the number 9 as well is all to do with completion. It's all to do with enlightenment, and it's all to do with attainment. So it's interesting because, you know, towards the end, you've got the Devil card there, which is ruled by Capricorn, which rules accomplishment, achievement, you know, finality, arriving at a goal or a gift. And then you've got the 9 of Cups. 9 in numerology is the end of the cycle. So you've got like a very culminating energy in the 6th and 7th years of this transit. And that sees you really tapping into that ability to say, right, you know what, I've traveled so much and so far and so wide, and I've achieved so much, and I've got such a good handling on everything, and I know who I am, and I know where I've come from. I know what traditions I want to create. I know what I need and want in my life now more than ever before. And now I need to settle myself in the place that is going to facilitate the growth of all of that going forward for the rest of my life. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this video. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Thank you so much. And remember, this is a 7-year transit. Dip into it over the next 7 years. I hope you're still with me after 7 years. I would love it if you are. It would be amazing to see how much we grow in that time together. Let me know how this plays out for you. And yeah, I will see you soon. Take care.